Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Good evening, everybody. It's showtime. Tonight, in the interest of historical posterity and the fact that neither Tom or I are doing our memoirs. Tom, you're not writing a book about yourself, are you?
I've been threatened to have happen, but it hasn't started yet. So
yeah, I've been threatening too, but it's anyway. So we wanted to refresh our own memories. So I want to refresh Tom's. It's been a proven fact that I remember more about our past than he did, because I used to idolize him for about like the first 15 or 17 years of my life. So I remember.
I've forgotten that part.
Anyway, maybe the best way to fill in or get to music in a hurry is fill in with that the great song you wrote about putting the boys in the choir.
So Steve and I were choir boys along with John Wallace and a number of other people who've been up here. Billy Gillies here. A song that anyone who started a musical instrument knows that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're having a good time finding your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have order in the court, please? There's people who paid $15 to hear what this gentleman has to say. They pay nothing to hear what I have to say. But take it away, Tom. I'm sorry.
So this is starting with a song that I wrote with my friend Cy Khan. I mostly wrote it. He approved it, but it's about how Steve and I got into this kind of music. Greenwich House Music School, I was 7 years of age, fighting with the little notes all swimming on a page. Squeaking, squawking clarinet, I hated, truth to tell. I still can't play 5 years of music lesson shot to hell. Gotta learn to read a melody. It fit my mother's plans for me. Put the boys in the choir, take them off the street. If they're singing in church, then they're off the concrete. Put the boys in the choir, make a joyful noise. Turn these happy hoodlums into choir boys. Grace Church, Brooklyn Heights, my mother dragged me in to see. And the Kendrick choir director waiting there for me. Auditioning at 8 years old and scared as I could be. But I could sing the notes she played and read a melody. I must have done all right. 'Cause that Friday night, she put the boy in the choir, took him off the street if they're singing in church. If they're singing in church, then they're off the concrete. Then they're off the concrete with the boys in the choir. Put the boys in the choir. I got joyful noise. Make a joyful noise. Turn these happy hoodlums into choir boys. Miss McKendrick took these tough young boys from the neighborhood. Lutheran, Catholic, Baptist, Jew, if you could sing, then you were good. 4 days a week, she'd hold our heathen feet to the fire. She made the crime rate lower and our voices higher. She put the boys in the choir, took them off the street. Took them off the street to see the church. If they're singing in church, then they're off the concrete. Put the boys in the choir. Put the boys in the choir. Make a joyful noise. Turn these happy hoodlums into choir. finding out a song. Let the music lift our spirits, singing right from wrong. Miss McKittrick smiling as I dance upon the wire. All these long years later, I'm still singing in the choir. If you can hold a melody, then you can sing with me. Put the boys in the choir, take them on the street, take them on the street. If they're singing in church, then they're off the concrete. Then they're off the concrete. Put the boys in the choir, put the boys in the choir. Make a joyful noise, make a joyful noise. Turn these happy hoodlums into choir. Turn these happy hoodlums into choir. Oh, 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 oh.
So, Tom, we were first exposed to music like around the house. It was like our grandfather's father, Daddy Burke, used to take songs and change the words to.
So, our father, of course, is a jazz drummer. And that table over there is going to have to quiet down, please. Philip. You guys want to talk? There's a whole thing outside.
Just go outside. It's great. The sound is great.
You'll
The
hear
weather's
really well.
great. It's really good, and you can
But
talk.
there's people here paid to hear this, okay? So, not to hear you guys. So, thanks. But my mom's, let's see. My mom, no. My KB was,
Yeah, KB was your mother.
So it's my mother's grandpa.
So this is why we're here tonight, Tom.
Thank you. But Daddy Burke, he played piano, and he was he
played like barrel house
and he
stuff.
simpled a little bit and stuff. But he used to do stuff with us, like I see. Sour balls, that's the stuff for us. Sour balls, we eat them till we bust. Funicular, funicular. Get yourself some sour balls, or else you think you're dumb. That's the only one I remember, but there was a lot of other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones.
Not all of them clean. But
That one didn't rhyme. You notice it didn't rhyme. It had a little funicular.
that was the era, of course, when actually opera songs got into the hit parade. A little bit different now. Would you hold it down there, please?
A lot of people pay this guy out of here. Yeah. Security, remove the beast.
So Steve and I were, let's see, we got into the choir, we were doing the choir a little later. So, but my mom loved opera, and my dad was a jazz drummer, but they divorced when I was 3 or something. And you were.
But we had the opera every Saturday.
But every Saturday was opera. And our older brothers, James especially, the oldest brother, the non-musical brother, used to listen to the hit parade every Saturday and write notes, about who was number 1 and they moved from number 7 to number, So we listened to all of that. And our grandma, our father's mother, Abigail Chapin, she was a teacher and she wanted her boys, meaning the 4 of us grandsons, to learn the language of music. So she put us in Greenwich House Music School in the village. And Steve took piano. I took clarinet under duress, as you heard. Harry was a trumpet and a very loud player. And the trumpet fitted very well, actually. And James took piano, which didn't take.
I thought that was always funny when you with the buzzy lip. You used to say how it made your lip feel buzzy.
Oh man, embouchure.
Embouchure.
Because I didn't buzz because I didn't practice. So I get there and practice a half an hour before the lesson. But Harry had a tough teacher, Mr. Karasik, and I had these 2 brothers. I don't even remember their names. They were terrible teachers. And I'd walk in and they go, for half an hour, and I go. But
So that wrapped up your.
that was my. But when I was 8,
But you learned how to read the notes.
that was it. I could read. That's what the song is, and then so we try out for the choir. And Miss McKittrick goes, ding, ding, ding on the piano, hit this note, ding, 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 sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. And she put a piece of music from it, and I forget what it was, but some little thing, and I sang it. So like the next day, I'm on the Friday night on the choir, you know, because they were low on the choir boys, you know.
No, that's not true. As a Tom had chops. As a contrast, Tom and I went in the same day. Tom got in this the first night. It took me like 7 months of intense.
But I was 8, he was 6. I mean,
6. Still, I mean, I've been brought up under the same stuff when I was a lot brighter than you were. So I always considered myself my equal intellectually, so I should have just got, it was crushing when you got there the next day, and I was a scared boy for like 6 months. How do I get to the big time?
I think he was scared, you know, at 6 years old.
Why don't we sing one of my mother's just to keep some music in sing?
Yeah.
She had this, my mother was quite an influence on all of us, and she always made Tom sing these songs when he first learned how to play the guitar.
So I was 12 when we heard the Weavers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But my mother always said, well, tell them one about Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, the old gray goose is dead. She died in the matrix. She died in the middle pond. She died in the middle pond. She died in the middle pond, standing on her head. The old gander's weeping. The old gander's weeping. The old gander's weeping because his wife is dead. The goslings are crying. The goslings are crying. The goslings are crying. The goslings are crying because their mother's dead. Go tell Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody. The old gray goose is dead. She loved those old tunes. I haven't sung that since my mom died.
That's how I'm doing here, Tom. I'm dragging this stuff up. Do you remember the song from the 90s, the 1890s, and she's only a bird in a gilded cage?
That sounds like Daddy Bird. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like he's the one that I think taught it to my mother. But unfortunately, at this time, our father had been, our parents were divorced, and we got the proverbial evil stepfather, which was actually pretty convenient. It was a horrible experience at the time, but it was pretty convenient for building a solid block of Chapins. All a little testosterone. Well, I ended up feeling sorry for this guy because he thought he was manly, and by the time he was finished with us, I reduced him to pulp.
He was unequipped.
Yeah.
Old line Philadelphia, Henry Gideon Hart.
Not quite sure of his masculinity, I think, too. Dealing with all the young testosterone wasn't a good thing.
And he arrived. So he married my mom when there was 4 boys, pretty wild characters, you know, and he unequipped, and we were unequipped to deal with. So
anyway, the reason I'm telling this is because Mom used to like this song because it's got this line in there. But her love it was sold for an old man's gold. And she's a bird in a gilded cage. I said, and Mom used to make a joke about, where's the gold? Where's the cage?
He was an older man. He was actually her boss. He was the editor and founder of Films in Review.
He's quite a famous man in his own right.
In that,
but he's still a shitty stepfather.
How do you really feel?
I got along a lot better with him than you did. I was sneaky with him. Also, he was getting old. He was getting worn out by the first 3. That's the story of my life. They tread the path. I just. She's only a bird in a gilded cage, a beautiful sight to see. You may think she's happy and free from care. She's not. is sad when you think of our wasted life, for youth cannot make with age. Her love, it was sold for an old man's gold. She's a bird in a gilded cage.
That's kind of our roots. Besides the church music roots that suddenly appeared in our lives, we learned how to sing harmonies.
So, Steve and I were doing that. Harry was never in the choir. He was a little too old for it, and not really a choir type kid, you know. And then when I was 12 and Steve was 11.
Can I explain what a choir pedigree means?
Sure.
The idea in a choir is a whole bunch of people blending in. And Harry had this particular need to stick out. Not what you want in the choir when you're supposed to be worshiping the Lord. He's the one supposed to be sticking out.
We spent summers in Jersey, winters in first when it happened, and then when our stepfather bought a brownstone in Brooklyn Heights for $16,000, which probably now goes for $3 million or something.
$1.6 million.
$1.6 million, yeah. But and every summer my grandfather Kenneth Burke had bought a farm, and we used to spend that in the country, and our other grandma, Lily Burke, took care of us when my mom was working during the week. She'd come on the weekends, and she'd come out the weekends, and she'd bring there was no hi-fis. It was just an old Victrola, and she'd bring these 78 records, things like the Lone Ranger. This is like we're talking 1950.
Yeah, 51, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Lone Ranger wrote the whole Disney repertoire, from the Peter Pan movie, Cinderella, all those.
The earlier ones, and then I was like Jiminy Cricket, remember, and all that stuff. Oh, there was one that I still sing to my granddaughters, Carrot Seed.
The Carrot Seed.
Thank you. Remember that?
Yeah.
Very,
It's a whole little psychodrama between two brothers.
Oh, a brother and sister, actually.
Well, you know.
Oh, yes, brothers. You're right, two brothers. It was a very well-known children's book, and somebody wrote tunes with it. I got myself, a carrot seed. I planted it and grew it. I watered it and pulled the weeds. Carrots grow from carrot seeds. And then his father says, fathers know a lot of things little boys like you can't know. And fathers know carrot seeds might never grow. Mother said, mothers know a lot of things. Another thing, and then the big brother says,
No, the little brother.
the little brother, okay, it's a little brother. The carrot won't grow up. But the kid keeps watering this thing. All of a sudden he comes out with a carrot, this
Giant carrot.
But, so that was, what else did we learn? That thing out of Jersey. Where are we going from here, Steve? From a carrot seed?
Yeah, well, at some point, then we moved to Brooklyn, we were in the choir, we were getting new stuff happen, and then suddenly the different records started appearing on the Victrola.
And the one hi-fi that could play 33 1/3 records was at our Aunt Hattie, and she brought out the Weavers at Carnegie Hall. This is summer of '57 or summer of '58, one of the two.
Yeah, before that, she just brought out the West Side Story. It was 55 or something like that.
And Oklahoma and those things. But we heard the Weavers at Carnegie Hall and started with Pete Seeger on the banjo. Ding, 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 ding,
Don Corey.
and then the chorus, big claps. The Weavers had been blacklisted in the late '40s. They had 3 #1 hits, and a hit parade, unbelievably. This an Israeli folk song.
That rocked.
And it rocked. Well, it was 4 people. It was 3 baritones, Pete Seeger, Fred Hellerman, and Lee Hayes, and a wonderful contralto, low alto singer, female singer, Ronnie Gilbert. and she made the whole thing, just with her voice, made the whole thing ring. And we heard that record all summer long. It was like, they in 1955, they'd been blacklisted. So Pete Seeger, went in front of the HUAC committee, and they say, "Are you a communist?" And he says, "I don't think you have the right to even ask me that question. I'm an American, who I believe, who I talk to." And they said, "Did you sing for this one? Did you sing for that one?" He said, "I sang for everybody. I sang for President Roosevelt. I'll sing for you. Can I sing the song?" And I said, "No, you can't." It's an amazing thing to read that whole thing. And he was, the contempt of Congress, and they put him in jail. And 2 years later, they finally disappeared. But they couldn't play. But Pete Seeger spent all that time singing in kids' camps. The only jobs he'd get was like summer camps with kids, because this guy's not going to hurt anybody by singing songs of justice and peace to like little Jewish kids and the Poconos, right, for $5 a thing. And of course, that's why we all know, "This land is your land, this land is my land," because those little kids grew up. But
we
anyway,
actually debuted with that song at the beloved Grace Church Choir in 1957 at the choir show.
We
First,
we heard the Weavers, and we listened to all summer long. This recording, it had a bunch of great songs on it. Kisses Sweeter Than Wine had 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older. By the end of the summer, Harry said, "We can do that." Because our Uncle Mike, who was out there, had gotten a guitar from Sears Roebuck, Montgomery Ward catalog, silver tone guitar.
Sears was too expensive.
Yes, and so Harry got a banjo. The banjo, actually, I still have it. It was my grandma's. He wanted a banjo because Pete Seeger. And I really need a banjo. I need a banjo. My grandma said, "I think I may have one in my basement." And I think my brother bought one in 1910. Grandma.
Her brother was Harry too.
It was Harry Forbes. And she found this banjo. Harry got it fixed up, started to play, and I got a really cheap guitar. Steve got a 10-string ukulele called a Tipley.
They were carrying me at this point. I was like, I might as well have been in diapers. I was in musical diapers at the time. They were doing everything, and they carried me along because we made a crowd.
And also because you could sing in tune,
Well,
the thing was
so
that
I was the Ronnie Gilbert of the band. Thank you very much.
It's true. So we started became the Chapin Brothers. We started singing songs. And the first time, and of course we were in the choir, and every spring they had a choir concert. And they were always looking for something to happen that was different at the choir concert, instead of just always men and boys singing the same old stuff. So Miss McKittrick said, well, why don't you guys sing a song? So we sang This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. What's it made? This land is your land, this land is my land. Nova Scotia, Vancouver Island, from the north up north somewhere, and just south somewhere. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond desert, while all around voice came sounding, saying this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And as I went walking, the sun was shining, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog song was lifting, a voice gave a sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest, from the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Oh baby, this land was made for you and me. Yeah. It's an interesting song because it never would have come to light except for Pete Seeger. Because Woody Guthrie was sung it a couple times to Pete, and then he got very sick and with Huntington's chorea and was in the hospital. And Pete sang that song and kept his whole thing alive. Interesting. So from that, we also did a lot of other kind of songs that.
Well, he opened a lot of doors and stuff. And he had a nice style. What was that song about? From a loving tongue in Spanish?
Oh yeah.
Did a nice job on that one.
Well, he would do these recordings that were like, he did over 100 recordings, and he was working. This is Pete Seeger, and he was working for Alan Lomax and John Lomax, the great folklorists, down at Smithsonian, and he had a wonderful ear for a good song. Where's my kid up here?
Arthur.
I think security took that kid away.
Let me see. High. B flat music. Like this. And here's a song that actually Pete did. He said I have a recording in my car of Pete Seeger doing a show in 1963 at a college in Maine. Just him and a banjo and a 12-string guitar. And he does this little medley of cowboy songs. Spanish is the loving tongue, soft as music, light as spray. 'Twas a girl I learned it from, living down Sonora way. I don't look much like a lover, still I say her love words over. Often when I'm all alone, mi amor, mi corazón. That's all he did. And I found the rest of the words in a songbook by, who's the poet that wrote about Abe Lincoln? Carl Sandburg. He was also the folk singer. She would listen for my spurs, throw that big door open wide, raise those laughing eyes of hers. How the hours would go flying, all too soon I'd hear her crying in her little sorry tone, mi amor, mi corazón. Haven't seen her since that night. I can't cross the line, you know. Wanted for a gambling fight. Like as not, it's better so. Still I often kind of miss her. Since that last sad night I kissed her. Left her heart and lost my own. Mi amor, mi corazón. Mi amor, mi corazón. It's a nice little song. And with Weavers, there was also Lee Hayes, a wonderful ex-preacher, and he'd come up with some wonderful songs. And here's a song that I first heard, and Steve and I first heard it at the bitter end with a group called the Tarriers. That was Eric Weisberg and Clarence Cooper and Bob somebody or other. But Lee Hayes wrote it with his sister, another young man's song. I do not have a mansion, I haven't any land, not one paper dollar to crinkle in my hand. I can give you morning on 1,000 hills and kiss you and give you 7 daffodils. I do not have a fortune to buy you pretty things, but I can weave you these for necklaces and rings. I can give you morning on 1,000 hills and kiss you and give you 7 7 golden daffodils, all shining in the sun, light our way evening when our day is done. I can give you music and a crust of bread, a pillow of piney boughs to rest your head. I do not have a mansion, I haven't any land, not one paper dollar to crinkle in your hand. I can give you morning on 1,000 hills and kiss you and give you 7 daffodils and kiss you and give you 7 daffodils, 7 So we did this, we terrorized the neighborhood for a while as the Chapin Brothers. If you like one Chapin Brothers, we'd all show up, Harry leading the way. We can do this. And then we started to write songs.
Yeah, we thought maybe we want to be famous.
we thought maybe this would be something we really want to do. And Harry was the lead dog for sure, and began writing songs that, we're gonna do this one? Oh my gosh.
Tom, I got a cheat sheet for you. I knew this was gonna be difficult. I got a cheat sheet for the next couple of tunes.
Okay, what we got?
Part of what Harry did is he kind of not only crafted the songs, he was kind of crafting the image for us, right? So this is very good.
Yeah.
The
Well,
songs
yeah.
lived the life we're singing about. We're gonna make
It's young men, you write about, we're grown-up people and we're, things kind of
taking
things.
over the world. Here we come, world.
And Harry, years later, said, I only started writing good songs when I made myself the villain. Taxi and Cats in the Cradle and those things where it's not that you're the best thing in the world, you're a schmuck if you learn something, So, but this is one of them. Which one do we got to do?
We're gonna do this one.
Okay, we
No. This is Live the Life.
Live the life.
Come on, say something.
I'm gonna live the life I'm singing about. Gonna make these steel strings ring. I'm gonna live the life I love to live. The life of which we sing.
Can we talk for a minute?
Yeah.
You know how they would, we also had a thing. Who sang the first verse all the time?
Harry,
Who sang the second verse all the time?
me,
Who sang the third verse all the time?
the best.
Anyway, we had that, and then, and the first chorus we always sang in unison just like we just did. And then after that we started like breaking up into harmony. Tom, you want to sing the first verse?
There are 1,000 wonders around this world to see. I'm gonna try to see them all while I'm young, and strong and free. I'm gonna live the life I'm singing about. Gonna make these steel strings ring. Gonna live the life I love to live. The life of which we sing.
Sit on this part for a while, get our bearings. You want to read ahead so you're not surprised anymore? I'll sing this first, okay?
Yeah.
I've walked the busy city streets with the buildings passing by. Smile at the endless faces of the people passing by. I'm gonna live the life I'm singing about. Gonna make these steel strings ring. Gonna live the life we love to live. The life of which we sing. And then we sang the last verse all together. There's time to stop and wonder what life is all about. There's times to laugh and times to cry, but now let's sing and shout. We're gonna live the life we're singing about. Gonna make these steel so good they dropped some stuff. We're gonna live the life we love to live. The life of which we sing. The life of which we sing. Hey, hold on. You forgot that name. That was the last part of the equation. We had all this thing worked out, and then at the end, life of which we. You saying that note, not the right. The life of which we sing. Everybody, letting the audience know it was clap time. And by the way, that's one thing Harry learned very beginning in his career. Let them know when to clap.
And give him a chance.
Yeah, he was really good at that, and so many people don't understand that. So you let them, one or two triggers, one or two fade out endings is okay. But generally, people want to know when the song's over. Sorry, I'm digressing. So Tom,
Songwriting with Steve.
yes, we got. You were still like under tutelage of some very important people at this time. We were in Brooklyn Tech High School at this time, and you were in a guitar club or something with some.
There was a folk club we started in Brooklyn Tech at that time. 6,000 boys 1,500 in my graduating class, and Steve graduating class. And we started a folk club, and there were some really great players there. One was a guy named Stephen Grossman, who was studying with the great black fingerstyle players. And if you want to get a book about Reverend Gary Davis or Big Bill Brunsey or something, they're all by Stephen Grossman.
He literally wrote the book.
And if he didn't write it, he got other people to write it, and he put it out on his thing. Anyway, so he was taking lessons from a guy named Reverend Gary Davis, who was from Durham, North Carolina, a blind black street player who happened to be a miraculous ragtime guitar player. And so Harry and I wangled a trip with him because he was taking lessons. So one afternoon after school, we jumped on the A train, went up to 125th Street in Harlem, and then walked to 137th Street, and then down underneath, behind all the brownstones, into this little house in the backyard. And here's this guy who had just been rediscovered. They didn't know he was alive still, and so in the folk revival, he started playing. And that day,
What was his style like, Tom? Throw a little.
well, this is what he was trying to learn that day, and I didn't get a chance to play. I'm just sitting there watching, but it changed my whole world in terms of guitar playing. Trouble trying to get home. I imagine walking down the street of Durham and hear this happen, you know. Yes, I'm having a whole lot of trouble trying to get home. Lord, I'm having a whole lot of trouble. It's like a ragtime piano. It's one guy. And so I learned a couple of his pieces. This is another one. Get together right down here. Oh, let us get together, children, right down here. Into some bright morning when this weary world is over, I'll fly away, to my home on God's celestial shore. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, oh, I'll fly away. Let's do my favorite. This part. He was like playing ragtime piano with two hands, with two fingers, and all this stuff going on. The thumb's doing this, and then he jumps and does stuff, you know. it flipped me out. I just couldn't believe it. And so the nice thing when I started playing solo, we've been in a band with Steve playing bass and somebody, and so even when I record, when I work up a guitar piece for one of my things, I don't try to do that flashy stuff. I make sure the bass is there, you know, and the guitar, so you do the whole thing. It's like a piano itself. Steve's piano player too. That's the other thing.
Sets a foundation with your.
When we started really getting serious, the piano, I played with Steve my whole life, and I was a rhythm guitarist. We had a really great electric player for a while, Dougie Walker. But what I learned from Steve was, he said, why don't you do this? You know, like the piano parts that he put in. He's playing bass, and I'm supposed to be doing all the other stuff. So I learned really that's part of it. Also, my dad was always, as a jazz drummer, was always really about the good time. You know, don't go faster and faster and faster, but just sit here. That's the other thing I learned from Reverend Gary Davis and this stuff. Were we doing something else here? Was the line?
Well, I thought that if you want to explore some early Harry Chapin magic, we could, one of his that was kind of like our.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe this particular song used to open our show. There was one memorable concert when Tom was known up in Plattsburgh, where he went to college, and not as a musician but as a basketball star. He was like a small college All-American. And so he was
long ago and far away.
So at school, people didn't. I mean, they knew he played the guitar and all that stuff. People knew, but in general, the big campus, New York State University in Plattsburgh, they generally thought of Tom as like a jock, as you will. So we came to the concert when we booked the concert, so however it happened, at Hawkins Hall.
Well, it was after a summer of us playing professionally with our dad. We hired our dad for the summer to play with us.
So we were tight. And there was a certain bit, everybody in the school came to the concert, but there was a certain amount of I'd say
hoping it would be good.
Hoping it would be good. They knew he was a good basketball player, but they'd seen their own families had bands. Everybody had a band back then. They knew how terrible family bands could be. They were hoping. So we opened the show with Walk Tall, this particular song. Walk Tall is kind of structured to knock your socks off. It starts off with Tom playing just kind of like same thing with Reverend Gary.
On a 12-string guitar.
So we're already rocking. We're already rocking the three of us, right? And then halfway through the song, there's like a key change, and then Dad appears at the drums, and all of a sudden, bah, 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 bah. Well, by this time you would thought it was the Beatles. At the end of that song, the audience was so relieved that the show was so tight. They gave us a freaking standing ovation. After the first thing, it was like it actually kind of was, because after that it was like
We're home, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just a funny thing, because I just remember the air of I hope this is going to be good. And the band was like, oh, these boys know what they're doing. Do we know what we're doing now?
No.
Are you ready?
No, let's see.
It's a good song because it's.
I can't see.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Ba, 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 ba.
I'm gonna walk all over this wide, wide world, see what's there's to see. I'm gonna stalk the land like a natural man, walking tall as I can be. Things ain't going just like they should, there's bad times in the breeze. Keep your head up, there's a favoring wind from the blowing through the trees. I'm gonna walk all over this wide, wide world, see what there's to see. I'm gonna stalk the land like a natural man, I'm walking tall as I can be.
I'd say, I don't remember all the verses, so I just stop. When we get to the end, we'd stop and go, now, brothers and sisters in this here life, 3-part. You sing the melody, I'll go,
Now, brothers and sisters in this here life, be you big or be small. No matter if the times be good or bad, you gotta keep on walking tall. This one wide world, see what there's to see. I'm gonna stomp the land like a natural man, walking tall as I can be. I'm walking tall as I can be, walking tall as I can be. Hey!
Walk
Tall as I can be.
Hey!
Oh my God! We gotta understand, we're also all 6 feet tall, and and stand up there.
Thank you, boys. Next song.
The only band that was as tall as us was was Stan Rogers and Garnett and those guys up here in Canada.
Good boys.
But they were wider. I didn't want to get in a fight with them.
You want to hear another one of these Harry Chapin early propaganda songs that no one knows about?
Say yes.
Just stop us if this is too deep a dive. This is a song called "It's Those Boys Again," and it was, I guess, they drink and smell, they raise pure hell, they coming into town, right?
Oh, but you're gonna do a key change, aren't you?
No, it's a different song.
Okay. Well, let's do the band. What do you think? We had rehearsals.
Rehearsal? No.
Okay.
Here we go.
So how to start it up with?
Look out! Okay, 1, 2, 3. Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out! Watch out, girls! Here they come! It's those boys again. Down from the hills, here they come! They're chasing girls again. They drink and swell and raise for hell. Just catch 'em if you can. But bolt the doors and hit the floors. It's those boys again. Take a rest.
On a farm up in the hills, a bunch of strapped boys learn to make a living there. One day, Mother Nature's
Okay, now this is good because this is one of the first thing. Learn to make their living there among Mother Nature's joys. This is your first. You got to sing among Mother Nature's joys.
On a farm up in the hills, a bunch of strapping boys learn to make a living there among my Mother Nature's toys. Living in the hills that way without no girls around makes them look for women folk when they get to town.
Harry sing. First they go to Joe's place when they get to town. When they've had a drink or two, they start to fool around. They huddle in the corner till they take the chance. And finally get the nerve to go and ask the girls to dance. Oh, watch out, girls, here they come. It's those boys again. Down from the hills, here they come. They're chasing girls again. They drink and swell and raise your hell and catch 'em if you can. Bolt the doors and hit the floors. It's those boys again. I never liked this song. We're gonna do the ending. It's those boys again. Hey! We delivered it, Connor. We delivered it.
Hey, man.
Don't tell
Did
him.
they all end okay?
No, just the upper ones.
Hey, Harry was always the lead here.
Yeah. We went to college. Tell me something about going to college, because that was we only went. The only reason we went to college, we had to act because of the Vietnam
Every
War.
summer, it was we go back to school, but it was the Vietnam War. And the idea is, you go back to school, you go to NAM. So we said, we go back to school. And my mom wanted us to all graduate. And we all did.
Also, the other thing is we lost our the first one to go was our manager. He went Fred Cooley,
Yeah.
and got drafted right away. He said, oh, that was too close to home for us.
And
I was number 3 in the lottery too.
well,
Yeah.
I don't remember being in the lottery. But
think he was,
I was a little
69.
Yeah. But I stayed at Plattsburgh for 6 years, a 6-year program. I graduated in 4.5 years, and then since I was a basketball star, I got a job as a assistant. I was the JV basketball coach, JV baseball coach. Taught swimming to all the, and basically my swimming class was all the seniors who couldn't pass anything else. You know, the girls who didn't want to be seen in a bathing suit, and I'm the campus jock. They get me to be there. So they were, but they were lovely. You know, but it's like the ones who can't swim, and so you have to. But I did that.
You're doing very well. You're
Yeah,
participating.
if you come and try, you're gonna pass it.
You're going to be successful.
And then on the weekends, Steve was in Potsdam at Clarkson College, so he would come over on the weekends. We had that band. One of the bands was the Beautiful People. You know. I got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Ernie used to sing this. Ernie Daly.
I got a cold outside. I got the month of May. Well, I guess you'll say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl, talking about my girl, my girl. I got so much honey.
Wow.
Birds in me. Sweeter song than the birds in the tree. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl, talking about my girl.
He's got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Oh, my girl.
He's talking, but he's really singing it. He keeps on saying he's talking, but somehow he's talking in tune. So it really isn't talking, it's really singing about your girl.
Yeah, anyway. So you want to take a little break or just keep rolling?
Tom, we're not there yet.
We're not
We're not there yet.
are
We
we?
do Blood Water Run from
Oh.
college.
Okay, so Harry, so James graduated from Hamilton and got his doctorate at Cornell. I graduated in the 6-year program. Steve graduated.
The 5-year program.
And guess who did not graduate from college?
Twice.
Harry flunked out not once but twice. First time out of architecture.
Yeah.
Second time out of philosophy.
You do have to go to classes.
Yeah.
Harry was majoring in singing songs at the cabaret and playing pool until 3 in the morning.
He said, you know, I'm the third best. He said, I'm the third best pool player in Ithaca, but I know who the first two are. So he won beers, you know. He played for beer, you know. Okay, so but at Cornell, it was
They die. It's
It's an event.
they're called the Red, Big Red.
it's Big Red. So once a year they dye the
Spring
river
weekend, they dye the river red.
red.
And one summer,
And one summer, according to Harry, the girl fell off the bridge and died, and they dyed the water red. The red one. Anyway.
the good part about this is this song probably has the last hay of the night.
Okay. So let's make sure we hit the hay at the same time.
No, I got a fan for it. Come on, get the rhythm. No, don't come in yet.
You can sing this for my
No, play music. You're gonna play. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna sing together, unison, and later on I'll harmonize. 1, 2, 3.
Let me tell you how they named this river. They call it Blood Water Run. When the water runs red, that's the name they give her. Run, blood, water, run.
That's it for a while. Okay, you're ready. There we go.
Early one spring, just before the plowing, a girl disappeared in the night. No one could say it was fair or foul, and they only knew something wasn't right. Never did find how she got in the river, or what hit her hard in the head. One of those things you can never discover, the only one who knows is dead. Let me tell you how they named this river. They call it Blood, Water, Run. When the water run red, that's the name they give her. Run, blood, water, run. Run, blood, water, run. Hey! Run, blood, water, run. Hey!
Nailed it that time.
That's great.
That sounds like it could be the end of. Oh no, college. There's a wistful college thing
Oh.
we do here.
Abigail.
No, we didn't do any college writing. Tom wrote his first song in college. We'll do that maybe later.
If I can think of,
It was, I know, posters on the wall. Posters on the wall, pictures make my mind go. But these songs are not as wistful as the one Harry wrote. Harry wrote a great song about college called Old College Avenue.
There's Ithaca, as it has College Avenue there, and Harry wrote
I
this.
think all college towns have a college avenue. My college town had a college avenue.
Oops.
My town had a University Alley.
Let's see. It's in C, I think. This is Abigail.
Yeah, this is my
This is Arthur. We'll see how well it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Of course, I picked a rainy night to try to find our path. Streetlights all were flickering, the leaves were falling fast. I walked down the winding road, looked back
We'll see you shortly for a set by Arthur Moon, Chapin Thomas. Take the lead.
You ready?
You ready? Baby,